What up, everybody? It's Andrew coming back at you with another episode. And today I'm going to be talking about a recent roster move by the Jaguars. They have traded for Minnesota Vikings left guard Ezra Cleveland. And in exchange for that, the Vikings get a 2024 sixth-round draft pick. I want to share my thoughts on this. And honestly, I'm kind of underwhelmed because of a variety of different reasons. It's kind of like, to quote Billy Bob Thornton, it's mashed potatoes with no gravy. And the reason why I say this is because we get a good backup in exchange for a sixth-round pick. Now that's good, but this guard that we got is really not going to have any initial roster impact. And the reason why is because we've moved Walker Little from left tackle to left guard, and he's going to be starting. So Ezra Cleveland's not even going to be starting, against San Francisco. And I understand that he's going to need time to learn the offense, but I don't know. I just feel like, what good does that really do us right now? I mean, it does give us, depth at that position. I forgot to mention as well that Ben Barch was cut. He was released, and I think they picked him up in the practice squad, but he has been kind of disappointing at that spot. So I understand why they released him. He's had some injury trouble as well. But, what we really needed, in my opinion, was to get a pass rusher. That was more of a need, I feel like, for us to be able to make a run for the Super Bowl. And, I'll get into more of that and, like, people I would have targeted. There was some talk about Danielle Hunter, Josh Uche, there Montez Sweat was available, Chase Young was available, and we didn't go after. I mean, we didn't really capture those guys. We didn't get any of those guys. And I think that's a huge disappointment because, when you're trying to go for the Super Bowl, you got to go all in. But back to Ezra Cleveland, I was looking at his film and he's pretty solid. There's some things that I noticed, like he's really strong. He's got really strong push, really strong arms. He can, you know, push linemen down the field. He's a good protector. He's a pretty good run blocker, but one thing I noticed is that his base, he's just high. He plays high, kind of like Anton Harrison. If Anton Harrison lowered his base and just hit people lower and drove, his run block lower, dude, he would be able to be pancaking most defensive linemen. And I feel like the same thing holds true for Ezra Cleveland. Plays a little high. He doesn't finish his blocks, entirely. So that, is a little bit of a concern for me, with the run blocking. I think with pass blocking, he looks pretty solid. So I think he'll be a solid depth piece to the offensive line. And we definitely need it because, Walker Little has had some injury trouble. He's coming back now. But so that's how I kind of feel with it. I'm just kind of about it, rather. I feel, kind of, it's okay, but I feel like we could have been more aggressive. Um, Danielle Hunter, that was one that I would have an edge rusher I would have gone for, really, or before the trade deadline, and we have Trent Baalke, our GM, doing Baalke things. I heard, I believe I saw on Twitter, he was either trying to, go for Chase Young or one of those defensive linemen, Josh Uche or some, I forget who it was, but the holdup was, draft compensation, and we were held up on giving away a fourth round pick or something. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, a fourth round pick is not going to be like a showstopper or have serious impact on your roster. Like, if they were, if you were going to hold this deal up for Chase Young or, you know, Montez Sweat over a fourth round pick, that's ridiculous, because really, what is a fourth round pick going to give you with roster impact, right? If you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to be aggressive. And I mean, shoot, I would have given away a first. I would have given away a first round pick, maybe even a second, or maybe, a first and then a second round pick in 2025, I would have been giving them a lot of draft compensation to get Danielle Hunter because he is an amazing player, man. His numbers are insane, and he gets to the quarterback, and that's what I feel like we're going to need if we want to beat teams like Kansas City. Um, and to make matters worse about the Ezra Cleveland situation is that his contract's going to be up next year. So if he ends up getting playing time, or even if he doesn't get playing time, and he just wants to go get a better contract, we're going to have to renegotiate with him next year, and we could lose him. So then we're back to square one again, right? So I just don't get this. I don't know why we're not starting him immediately, get him out there, get him playing, and then having Walker Little be the backup left tackle or swing tackle if Cam Robinson or Anton Harrison goes down. Um, I don't get it, but maybe you guys can explain it to me. But that's how I kind of feel about this trade. I feel like it's okay, but we could have been more aggressive, and it might come back to bite us, I think, later in the season, um, or maybe even the off season with Cleveland's contract. But you guys let me know how you feel. Leave me a comment on the YouTube video or podcast episode. Again, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you enjoy my work, hit that red subscribe button. It's free, and I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time. Duval! What's up, everybody? It's Andrew from the Jaguar Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as always. And remember, this is a podcast, so you can find this pretty much wherever you find podcasts. Subscribe to it. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.